Hello, this is, I think it's the 12th video in a series called State of the School, SoS. Uh, I'm looking back on 2025. Here's Fluff. He doesn't come here all that often, the Tom. And this is a day of many videos because the weather is so cold and windy outside. I decided I'd just stay inside and get my act together on 2025. Well, there, at a certain point, more than a year ago, I decided I needed to start cleaning up. There's two words for that here. There's cleaning up, and there's also reddening up. Redden up. That's in local dialect. I mean redden up. I needed to start to try to make sense out of all the stuff I have around here. If I would suddenly die, what would somebody do with all this stuff? I mean, the obvious answers would be call an auctioneer who would probably be reluctant to come, although there'd be plenty of money to be made. A scrap dealer, a junk man, call him. If somebody had no recourses with all this stuff, and ultimately call in a bulldozer or whatever, because I'm the one that understands why I have all this stuff. Am I a hoarder? I don't mind being called. Well, I do mind being called that a little bit. Although I think most hoarders have a real specific use for everything they hoard. But mine is a little bit of a different situation. I've been gathering material and especially tools that would be useful and necessary if suddenly a village were here. Not just me, but a village. But I hadn't maybe better get into that. Anyway, that happened several years ago, I think, that I started. But it picked up a pace this past year. And as I was cleaning things up and gathering things up, I realized that I should maybe start showing the tools that I have. And I called those videos Uncommon Tools at Frank School. Not rare, not precious necessarily, but uncommon. You usually don't see a lot of those tools, and you certainly don't usually see them collected so many in one place. And there's quite a few videos. It's not a playlist. I should eventually make it into a playlist, or at least sort it out. What have I done with to show the tools that I have accumulated? Not the materials. The materials would be something else, I think. But the tools that I have accumulated over my lifetime, just in case they would be needed. So anyway, there's a whole series of those called Uncommon Tools. Now that and it picked up a pace in the last year, and you could see them. I mean, uncommon hammers, uncommon table saws, uncommon all kinds of things that I have. Rather than try to display them like a museum, I spread them out and I kind of say, well, here they are. And I can remember that my mother, before she died, I should record this at some place, but it was apparent that she was not going to last that much longer. I remember asking her about the future. I said to her, Mom, what do you want done with all of this stuff that she had? To which I added a lot. I mean, the two collections kind of eventually went like this. And she said, I don't know, a museum? Maybe you could use them as a museum? And I thought, oh, maybe so. And when the inheritance was broken up, I have four sisters. There are five heirs who inherited everything, the five of us. I remember not putting up any kind of a fuss about certain family portraits or furniture or whatever that many would think is real precious. But I just said, I want the primitive stuff. Partly because I knew nobody else of my four sisters would, it's not exactly know what to do with it, but be able to deal with it. And I said, well, just let me have the primitive stuff. You can have the other stuff that's of more value. So that's kind of where the collection of all these uncommon tools and books came from. And over the past year, I have gradually, as I was able to, gathered up them and photographed them and just filmed them and called them common tools, uncommon tools at Frank's School. Bye for now.